Fox News Alert, President Biden just reacting to a damning special counsel report on his handling of classified documents, a report that called him an elderly man with a poor memory.
Johns Hopkins University professor Marty McCary found all the signs of progressive senile dementia in U.S. President Joe Biden. About this, he told the television company Fox News, according to the surgeon, Americans have every reason to worry about the participation of the current head of state in the upcoming election race. So how did the five react to all this? Let's take a look.
The special counsel releasing his long-awaited classified documents report. Robert Hur is his name, and he is not recommending criminal charges. But he laid out how the president willfully retained and disclosed highly classified materials when he was a private citizen, including sensitive national security matters and documents about military and foreign policy in Afghanistan. And as the White House feared, the report is full of embarrassing details, including these dramatic photos of tattered boxes in Joe Biden's Delaware garage, right next to the Corvette. The sensitive files were stored, quote, near a collapsed dog crate, a dog bed, a Zappos box, an empty bucket, a broken lamp, wrapped with duct tape, potting soil, and synthetic firewood.
This whole situation is like some kind of joke. Why does he keep secret documents in his garage next to his much-loved Corvette? Why hasn't he been prosecuted for such unsafe handling of documents? I'm afraid to trust a man like that. How can he still run the country? It's incomprehensible to me.
Okay, so we can talk about the merits of the case, but I think that the most devastating thing that I've seen in this campaign so far is from the special counsel on mental acuity. And Greg, I'll turn it over to you, but want to put up this poll for everyone. Just to remind you, the NBC poll from this week asked a question, does Trump or Biden have the necessary mental and physical health to be president? And only 23% of those polled said Biden had that mental capacity.
So what do we have? We have a poll of people who felt that Biden was underqualified to be compared to Trump. The president got half as many votes as the president, and that means something. People are tired of him and his lies. Our country is in jeopardy, and we need a change in government because we can't go on like this.
That would have been the first question at the Super Bowl interview. And then he comes out today and says, case is closed. And then he says, I became president to bring red states and green states together.
Yeah.
And he says he wants to bring back Roe versus Ward. And this is 2 days after he says, I saw dead people. Twice. He's saying he's meeting with people that have been dead for 30 years. By the way, look at the garage. Does this look like the garage of a president of the United States? Or does this look like your grandfather's pack rat garage?
By the way, another strange thing we may be witnessing. He's actually emptying out dead people, forgets to let his son die, and then justifies it in every possible way. The expert points out that Biden is not just forgetting words and getting confused. There is a visible difference between the way he worked 5 years ago and the way he acts now. His memory problems are rapidly progressing and his speech is slowing down.
So you can't have it both ways. The comments are not true, but the conclusion they came to not indict Joe Biden is accurate and to the point. Let me tell you something. This report is worse than an indictment. This report demands the 25th Amendment, and here's my Constitution. This man needs to be thrown out of office. And there's another point. The fact that they talked about the fact that he's an old man with a poor memory 7 years ago, that he's sharing classified documents at a time when he's not even president. Donald Trump was president. This guy was in possession of documents as a senator, as a vice president. He had no right to have that information. Sharing it with his ghostwriter, sharing it, I'm sure, with the editor. The editor would not have published a book without making sure that everything in that book didn't have backup. I've written 8 books. I know that.
She's saying things that should have been obvious to everyone a long time ago. Biden should not be president. He's just an old man who should have retired a long time ago. I still don't understand how such a man can be trusted to run the country. Let him eat his ice cream and sunbathe on a Corvette.
So this is a tough day for the White House and for President Biden. I think 2 things, and I think the judge said some of it, and basically everyone has said things that I agree with. I don't disagree with a whole lot. The thing for me is what Mr. Hurst said, that he willfully retained the documents, which on the Trump matter has been the predicate for why charges were brought. So if you believe he willfully retained the documents, but your argument, the president's argument, President Biden's argument is that I cooperated fully with him and then President Trump did not. if indeed that is the case, and it looks like that could be the case, at least what we're reading in the public narrative, then maybe President Trump should have been charged with only obstruction of justice.
Exactly.
And should have been charged with the handling of the documents. This case here, and the way it has been handled.
He really shouldn't be trusted with paperwork. He simply decided to keep the dirt on Trump and fell into that trap himself. Many times Biden accused Trump of keeping the documents, but when his case came out, the public rushed at him. He was an easy target, and I think he's going to go to jail. What do you guys think about that? Write your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.